What's goody? Hey, welcome to E&J Reacts, baby. As you know, I love animations. And guess what we about to do? We about to watch animation right now, baby. So let's get right to it.
Hello, my geeks and peeps, my explainers, and blah, blah, blah. Listen here.
Rebecca,
if you know
right?
That intro, chances are you know who I am.
Yes,
and
sir.
If you don't, hi, I'm Rebecca.
Thank
you kindly for noticing I don't have a mouth.
I know.
Right out of the inkwell without it. Anyways, back to my original point. If you know me, there's a chance you may one day be gallivanting about in the world post-pandemic and happen to spy a wild
pandemic's
Becca
over.
in her natural habitat. And if that glorious day comes, I assure you, my little oodle-lollies, that it is quite okay to approach.
Oh,
I
word.
shall not maul you to death.
Word.
Probably. Something that you'll hear a lot from storytime animators is that they don't know why people get excited or overwhelmed.
Yeah, nah.
Oh, please don't cry.
I never understood. Like, you're just regular people, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why people get, like, dude, if I see one of my people, I just like, hey, you're, what's it called? That's what's up, bro. Nah, but just keep it moving. That's it. You're a regular human being.
Cry? I'm just a weirdo who spends way too much time in front of a computer screen and doesn't shower nearly as much as I should. That's
Exactly.
That's the reality of our situations. The day-to-day of what we do is not glamorous.
I heard.
Strike that. I'll tell you the one time that this job does feel glamorous. Conventions.
Oh.
Sponsors give us a metric ton of free stuff, and when we step on a stage, everybody goes, bah! But even then, you're working really hard at these events. You're sweaty and exhausted and your feet hurt because you just had to wear the sparkly red high heels, didn't you, Dorothy? Click them together. Maybe you'll get some Dr. Scholl's, you fashionista wannabe.
Why are you blaming yourself?
Oh, right. Meeting all of you. Sit down. I got funny stories. About 3-ish years ago, I was at the grocery store. Nothing particularly important about this trip. I was just getting my things. I got in line for the checkout, and there was a high school kid and his mom in front of me. Big, tall football player kind of guy. Now, when I'm at a convention or on the rare occasion appearing on camera for a video, I tend to doll myself up a bit. But that day, I was in normal Becca
That's
mode.
me every day, bro.
No makeup, my hair was all frizzy, I was wearing my glasses.
That's me every day.
That would help disguise me.
No one will suspect a thing if I wear my Clark Kent glasses.
But even still, sometimes people won't realize who I am because I'm not all pretty-fied. Case in point, while I was standing there in line, I noticed the high school guy started to stare at me for a long time. Wheels definitely turning in his head.
He's like, where have I
Pulled out
seen this
his
person
phone,
before?
Searched for something, and then began to look between me and his phone a few
That's
times.
hilarious.
That's a fun feeling, knowing you're being stared at but not wanting to awkwardly return eye contact, so you do that quick glance thing over and over. The guy's mother finished paying and began wheeling her basket away, yelling at him to get the lead out, we're going. He looked back at me rather frantically and said, are you Rebecca Parham? Yes?
Oh, wow.
Picture? Sure? Click! And he went out the door. The cashier girl looked at me and said, what the hell was that about? I don't know. He recognized me from my YouTube channel.
I wouldn't even explain. I'll be like,
whatever, nerd.
That's usually how it be. I wouldn't even explain. I'd just be like, I don't know. He wanted a picture. I don't know who that is. Just
Speaking of
humble
stores,
about it.
A little girl once followed me around the pharmacy section of Target. Every time I stopped in an aisle and looked at something, she'd stand 6 feet from me and pretend she was looking at the shelves too.
That's
I know
hilarious.
She was pretending because little girls are not usually that fascinated with Rogaine. She side-eye glanced at me a lot.
Hey, I love Rogaine, dude. Rogaine is where it's at, dude. Can't hate on Rogaine. Come on.
But never did say anything to me. I wasn't wearing makeup that day either and was probably very sleep-deprived, so I must have looked rather terrifying. Resting witch face and all.
Yes, come closer, little girl. Would you like a selfie? I promise it won't steal your soul.
I very often get surprised by the types of people who know who I am. They pop up in every situation, too. See,
it's like, I'm not like you.
You're
famous.
People. Kids, teens, early college, you get it. So when my mom...
Yeah, I was about to say, usually, like, everyone has their demographic. Like, I always wonder, what is my demographic? I feel like my demographic is usually on the younger side because I watch a lot of animations and Minecraft videos, but everyone has a demographic. But hey, she's famous. I'm a regular dude just watching regular videos with people who actually enjoy them. Thank you.
and I were in the airport and we walked up to our gate. I was rather surprised when a man traveling alone in his 40s came up to me and said, "Excuse me, but are you Rebecca Parham?"
In his 40s. Wow.
I was not ready for that. My brain fully expected this man to say, "Excuse me, is this the flight to London?" or some other old person thing like, "Do you remember that show Thundercats?" He was a nice guy and told me that he watched my videos with his daughter.
Oh, of course. He has daughters. That makes sense.
You to watch me. Now that makes sense.
Yes.
Well, fair play to you, dedicated parental unit. Another place I was blindsided was when I
was
was
about to say, bro, listen. I'm probably the 1% of males over the age of 20 who are watching this and don't have kids. I'm just being honest.
LA last year. I didn't actually move there, by the way. Fun fact, LA housing contracts are signed in blood, if you catch my drift.
Honestly.
But I digress. I went out to look at a rent house one day, and when I got there, I was greeted by the real estate agent, a woman who looked to be about in her late 40s. She walked me around, told me about the place, basically just did her job.
Okay.
But as I was leaving, just as I was about to cross the threshold of the house...
Oh, and by the way, I love your videos.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. If I may ask, do you have any children? Teenagers, maybe a kid in college?
No.
Oh, wow.
Ah.
Interesting. Hey, literally, I just said that, too. I literally just said, I bet big chance only 1%. Hey, she joined the 1%, baby. Interesting. Okay. I'm also the 1% of
There was
people
this
without
one
kids who are
time
watching
back in
videos.
2019, I was in downtown San Antonio for San Japan, a big old Weeb Fest anime convention. I was
Love
there to sing at
those.
a concert with fellow YouTubers Caleb Hiles, Anna Pantsu, and CG5. The night before the convention started, we all went to dinner, and when we were done, we called an Uber to get back to the hotel. I was in the front seat and Caleb was in the back seat directly behind me. We must have been talking about something very interesting because I had turned towards my window to better speak to him over my shoulder. The car stopped at a red light, and while we were sitting there, some movement outside of my window caught my eye.
What happened?
I looked up, and this is what I saw in the Suburban next to me.
Oh, wow. Yo, that's crazy.
Funny enough, there was one time my face wasn't even the thing getting recognized. About 3 years ago, I was at Disney World with my family, and on this particular day, we were at Epcot. David and I were waiting outside the bathrooms for Mom and Rachel when a girl walked by and noticed that David was wearing an Aperture Laboratories t-shirt. The nerd. She stopped and said,
Hey, I really like your t-shirt.
I couldn't
Oh,
help
wow.
but notice that the girl was wearing a Spirited Away shirt, so I said, Oh, and look, you're wearing Hayao Miyazaki. You really ought to go over to the Japan Pavilion here. They have all sorts of fun anime and manga stuff. I was
Okay.
rather satisfied with my perfectly executed social interaction there.
I see you.
My fellow
see you,
geeks are
queen.
so easy to talk to.
I see you,
but
queen.
then I noticed how she was looking at me. She was staring very intently and squinting her eyes in suspicion.
Like she
Immediately,
knows you
I
from
thought I had said
somewhere.
something stupid. Oh God, I insulted her. I assumed she liked anime. I mispronounced Hayao Miyazaki. I did something. I must have.
Must
She
have.
just kept staring at me, but then said,
You sound familiar.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Hello, my geeks and peeps, my explainers and entertainers, my little oodle-ollies, Rebecca Pound here.
and that was all she needed to hear. Who needs to stand in line to take a picture with a princess? You got a moderately popular YouTuber over here. But I'll never
I see you,
forget
queen.
The only reason I got recognized that day was because of David's nerdy shirt. You win this one, brother. And speaking of nerdy shirts, we have one of those sweet new Witch of the Wood shirts in the shop for you. We call this one the Garden Witch shirt. Good for ladies, gents, and all
Oh
other
no, she's plugging. This video is not sponsored.
real beings. Get them while they're hot, baby.
Not
cakes.
sponsored, not
Link in the
sponsored.
description below. Alright, I think I'm just about out of time for this video. Now, don't forget, explainers and entertainers, if you see this face poking about in the post-pandemic outside world, you
Word.
shan't be afraid to introduce yourselves.
Love
It
it.
warms my heart to see your blessed little faces and subsequently
Aw.
squeeze them. Have a good day, my little oodle-ollies. Thank you so much for tuning in, but now I gotta tune out. Bye!
Peace. I love how she says that oodalali stuff. Hey, real quick, as always, stay blessed, stay beautiful, and stay clean. I love you guys. Peace.